Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's your boy Greg, and today is going to be a bit of a different video. No, my face is not here today, but we are going to talk about something more serious. I'm going to make an art piece that I felt like it was more controversial, more just more serious in general. This is about guns. As you know, I live in America. Guns are pretty prevalent, and I was reading about this shooting in this magazine. Of course, it was the Uvalde, Texas shooting at Robb Elementary. Now here is an excerpt from the magazine. It says, a gunman murders 19 children and 2 teachers inside an elementary school in a small Texas town. Now, the families, of course, were grieving. And as you know, in America, we have a large gun problem. And they said that the parents came, and obviously the kids had phones and stuff, and the police wouldn't let them in because for some reason, I don't remember the reason, but yeah. And so I remember hearing about how I remember how people were defending guns, and how, the same gun arguments, the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, and like all this stuff. Are they trying to take our guns? And it's just a whole mess. And so for this piece, I kind of did a 2-part piece. For one, I have people worshiping. Now, if you ever been to like a Christian church, or where they sing worship music, the worship like part of church, the first part where they sing all the songs, people put their hands up like this. But in the middle, the thing that they're worshiping is those guns, of course, because I feel like that's what people do. That's what people are doing. They're worshiping these guns. Now, at the top, there is a hand going to grab some guns. And obviously, I have many guns in the middle. I have the famous AR-15 a couple times. I have a pistol, and I have like some kind of musket. I don't know. I just want to have a wide range of guns, because people tend to weaponize just one gun and not all the guns, because you can still shoot people with all the guns. And honestly, for me, I feel like there's no reason really to have guns. Like, yeah, people do it for sport, but other than that, like protection, yeah. But like, we have knives, we have slingshots, we have bow and arrows. I mean, it's just a little excessive. But that I will get to that later. But yes, I have like 3 types of guns there. Two of those AR-15s, and a musket and a pistol. And then at the top, there's the hand. And now the hand could symbolize 2 things. It could symbolize the choice that people make to pick up the gun, or I could read it. You could read it as they're worshiping God, right? And they're giving their guns to God. Now, as a Christian, obviously we teach a lot of the protection that you should be getting is from God. Obviously, that is a little out of context, but God fights our battles. he's not gonna come down here and like fight battles, obviously, but he will be the ultimate judge and executioner, and we shouldn't take vengeance into our own hands. Now, with that being said, I have this where they're giving their guns to God, basically giving him back the vengeance to take, and not on us. Because who gave us judge, or who made us judge, jury, and executioner? Who made us that? Nobody. So yeah, this piece is basically about that. But yeah, you can read it multiple ways. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. But I designed it. I did this piece like a year ago. When this first was like the weekend when this magazine came out, and then it sat around my house for a while, and then I finally finished the piece because I read an excerpt of how the parents and the spouses of these people were still coping with this shooting, and how just how they were doing after 1 year after the event. And it had me thinking of how when someone passes away, they're gone, and for the people left, they either there's no real like fix to it. It's not like a change of lifestyle can get you better, or an imbalance of hormones, or a stitch up, or anything like that. It's just something that you have to learn to either get used to or cope with. And especially losing a child, which I can't relate to, and I hope I would never have to relate to. But I know as a child losing a parent, that is a type of pain that you just have to get used to. It's not like they'll be back. They're gone. And especially knowing that, like, if you lose a kid in a situation like this, at a school, this is a place where they're supposed to be safe. It's supposed to be a place where they are learning, and that that you can leave them, because the government says we have to put them in school anyway. Otherwise, you're putting them in homeschool. They have to be in school. That's like mandatory for children. But to send them to a school and to find out something like this happens, I think it would really dampen your trust in society, hurt your trust in the police, hurt your trust in people, hurt your trust in whatever demographic that the gunman was. I think he was a young man, but it really hurts the community, because you're more reluctant to be a part of the community, knowing what could happen, knowing that people like this is out there. And then they have people talking about how guns are so good for our society, when they just changed your life terribly. I think it's a really tragic story that happens to a lot of people, especially in America, because this problem is so big. So after seeing that, kind of got a fire under my butt to keep going with this piece and do the rest of it. There was another shooting. There's been lots of shootings, really, but there's been another shooting where a person went into a Christian school and shot up those children. I think one of those children was the pastor's daughter, which is upsetting, of course. And then there's another one where I think the same time around this one, what I'm talking about, the Rob Elementary one, where he went to a grocery store, and there's just been many throughout the years of shootings that are really unnecessary, and you know, your Second Amendment rights it's a muddy territory. When you own a gun, a lot of the times the gun ends up in the wrong hands. Like the person takes the gun to stop whatever, and then they end up getting their gun taken, or it's really not a good situation, honestly. Then there's illegal guns, which really, what do you do with that? Obviously, I would like if there was no guns to even be out there. But obviously, I do understand that people get guns illegally. People have guns for recreational use. And there are gun owners that are responsible with their guns. I do understand that. But at the same time, a gun is used for killing. And if it gets in the wrong hands, this tool is it's not a tool that could be used for anything else but killing. Whether that's deer, even I guess like practice on cans, but you're still destroying cans. Not to say that you can't do that with a bow and arrow, but it's just like there's other methods to use other than guns. Okay, so for this piece, I also wanted to use this this old watercolor book that I have. It is called a Peerless Watercolor. Nicholas's Peerless Watercolors. Now, I got this a while ago when I was I don't know, early days when I was doing my drawing a day challenge. I didn't really use them, but they are really good. I do swatches on here on like this character guy, and just to make sure the colors are what they are. They say it on the back, the real colors of them. Some of the difference of the front and the back is wild, but I didn't see the front, or I didn't see the back. That is the real colors until after I did them all. And then I was like, oh, that's the real color on the back. Because there's one that looks like mother of pearly purple, but it's actually green. And yeah, that's crazy. But yes, and then after I went in with those colors, I went in with the Five Below watercolors because I like those a lot also. And then, yeah, I went in with the full colors. For the design, I was going to put the faces of the children in the background, but I thought that would be a little too bullheaded of an approach, too forceful. So I ended up just painting that black, just kind of putting some hands in the background. I call it the front people blue. They could be sorrowful, or they just could be, the blues could symbolize something that I don't know what it is yet. And then in the foreground, or in the midground, are the guns. I made those high yellow and or golden yellowish, just only because they have a light shining on them, and the light is orangey yellow color. I was going to make the guns dripping with blood, but I thought that was also an approach that was a little too gruesome, too hard, and I don't want to do all that. I wanted to make this piece kind of peaceful, but also kind of contesting. I didn't want it too jarring, and I didn't want it too how like a movie will, if it has a moral in it, it just wants to teach the moral and not have an actual good story and stuff. I didn't want it to be like that. What do you guys think about guns? Honestly, I don't mean to offend anyone who, is a good gun owner and really has their stuff together. But, we do have a problem in America, and it's not a joke. It's not fun to have people dying over this thing that is really, it seems like it's something so frivolous to, risk people's lives with. But also there's those who, our Second Amendment is for, if the government overthrows us or whatever, gets to, I don't know, just, if they want to start being like Nazi Germany or something, we have the right to protect ourselves and, fight back against, evil overarching governments and stuff like that, which is a real concern. I would say that. But what is the sacrifice? Because there's been a lot of school shootings. There's been a lot of just mass shootings in general, and they're basically sacrificing lives for something that could happen. And I don't think that's a very good thing to do. But, tell me what you guys think about in the comments. Please try to keep it respectful. And yeah. What do you think of this art piece? What is your interpretation of this piece? Obviously, my explanation is not the final explanation. Art is relative. Art can be whatever you want it to be. So, what are you thinking of this? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this art piece. I hope you enjoyed this discussion, I guess. If you want to discuss it more in the comments, you can. And I will answer if I feel like I need to, but, and any good points I can see. I will be open to see. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a like and a subscribe, and drink more water, and be safe out there. See you guys next time.